My friends, I come before you today a solid mass of sweat. Unfortunately, I had forgotten that in the summer, on the weekends, the subway doesn't run in many places, really. And why should it? Who is here that matters, you know? I understand they are extending the number of jitneys soon, though. I also first saw Greenwich Village in 1976 when I was a freshman in college, and my uncle, an antiquarian book dealer, took me down there in his unending search for new old volumes. I was amazed. I had read of the village, had even seen it depicted in romantic films such as, well, Next Stop Greenwich Village, but I had no idea it was anything like this. Out in Washington Square Park, people were doing just about anything they liked. Dancing, necking, talking, shouting, juggling, painting, drinking wine, swallowing fire, playing guitars, playing drums, playing soccer, playing frisbee, playing chess, smoking pot. Right out in the open, largely untended by the police or any other adult supervision. It seemed to me that this was about as close to paradise as I was likely to see on Earth, and after that I got down to the village as often as I could. It never seemed less than amazing. The West Village was an incredible amalgam of pursuits and styles and times. Entire eras seemed to be stacked one upon the other in the same place, which is when New York is always at its best. Gertie's Folk City was still around in those days, and so was Le Figaro, and the Lone Star, and the Bleecker Street Cinema, and the old Provincetown Playhouse, and the old Minetta Tavern, where you could get a hamburger for less than $25 and learn the secret language of seagulls. It was, in all, part of that old New York where you get the best of many things. Some of the best music that ever was, the best films, the best company, for a very low price indeed. Of course, New York University was a part of that Greenwich Village too, and added to its vitality and its diversity. It is the nature of cities to change, lest they end up preserved in amber like Venice, and with change comes inevitably loss and regret. We understand that NYU has its needs too, but nothing. I was going to say something along the lines of, but surely a smarter way can be found to allow it to grow in harmony with the village all around it. But why must we always apologize for the lovely, the charming, the unique, and the piquant before the powerful, the greedy, and the overweening? Already NYU has lined the south side. I'll always stop for an applause line. Already, NYU has lined the south side of Washington Square with buildings striking in their ugliness, their brutality, their outsized lumpishness. Barbarians at the gate of Henry James's exquisite townhouses just across the park. Certainly, the university is a worthy and useful institution, but it has no more claim to Greenwich Village than all the rest of us. This place where Poe lived and O'Neill wrote, where the Heterodoxy Club met and the Triangle Workers died and Dylan played. The village no more exists for the purposes of NYU than, say, Brooklyn should for the purposes of some shady Russian oligarch who wishes to own a basketball team, or New York City so that Michael Bloomberg can find something to do in his golden years. We have already witnessed any number of desecrations under the reign of our testy merchant prince and his predecessor. Another iconic New York place, Coney Island, is even now being bulldozed in favor of buildings that would be bigger, taller, meaningless. The West Side waterfront has been filled up with the mindless excrescence that is Trump City. It is all part of the endless campaign to make New York that much more like everywhere else. Better it would be that NYU should vanish tomorrow than it be allowed to tear down everything around it and go on multiplying in its own remarkably unimaginative fashion. We would miss it, of course, much as Brooklyn misses the Dodgers. But if you'll notice, Brooklyn is doing pretty well these days, while the Dodgers are just another baseball team playing somewhere off a highway in California. It is the village that lends enchantment to the university, not the other way around. You would think that, after nearly 200 years, the university might have figured this out. Thanks very much.